Hello and welcome to our second part for Music Goes On. Actually, we want to call it The Pianist on the Couch. But unfortunately, we have to keep distance because of the circumstances we are living for the moment. But still, welcome, and we are happy to have today Leonie Rettig with us. She played a wonderful performance with a program you can find if you click the link below or after the video ends in the ending sequence. So at first, thank you so much for being here and to have the opportunity to listen to your program. And coming to the program, you made a little change, which is fair enough, but it's okay. So, but the original program was actually meant three sonatas from Beethoven.
Yes.
Why did you choose Beethoven in the first place, and why these three sonatas in the first place? Of course, you changed it then later to Bach Busoni, but you will find the program anyway later than down. So, what would you say about that?
Simply because I think these sonatas just accompanied me through the last year, so it was just fitting to restart also 2021 because this is my first performance of the year, and to restart the year or to start the year with Beethoven it just felt natural. It was the ending of 2020 and the beginning of 21. It's a very
simple like that.
simple.
Okay.
But then in
Simple
that
answer.
sorry to intervene.
No, that's okay.
But in that sense, then we are honored that you start your concerts for this year with us.
Yeah, definitely.
So am I. Thank you very much for initiating this wonderful series.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And other pianists also was most welcome to join. And I think you're maybe not such a big fan of competition. I remember Horowitz, I think, once said that he doesn't like competitions either because he doesn't see the idea why competition. What is your take on that?
Well, I think for some people they're very fitting and they do have benefits for sure. Like the way you prepare for a competition is different than preparing for a concert. It's the mindset is totally different and you can learn a lot from that. You can train your mind basically, which is for us, of course, also very important. But I think also the mere idea of comparing music with points and notes and saying like, no, but you cannot interpret Beethoven like this, or your technique is better or worse than others or whatever. Everybody has such a personal approach to music that you cannot, in the end, you cannot compare it. It's just about liking or disliking it. Either it touches you or not. So plus with competitions, you always play, it's always just a status quo of what you're capable of. So today you play like this, tomorrow you play like this, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, it constantly changes. So playing in a competition also is unfair then, because it's never, it might be your best day, maybe it's not such a good day today, and it's just also the idea of going to entering the stage with the idea, okay, they're colleagues, which should be my colleagues, but now they're not enemies, but I want to be better than them. I want to, kind of kick them out of the first round or something. I don't want to feel like that towards other musicians. It's just there's, enough space for all of us, and there's no need to feel this competition between each other.
Yeah.
I just don't think that it's natural. But it has benefits, and it has benefited many pianists to gain a great career out of it. So it's just not for me.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I can also relate to that quite easily because music and competition doesn't make so much sense for me because it's not about time or speed or whatever. It's about music. We're talking about music. Of course, you can say, okay, how accurate you play or whatever, but it's about also interpretation or how you feel about it, or what is the background story when you play a particular piece, for instance. So I think this is very difficult. So I can really cope with Your statement and Horowitz too. You both cling very fine.
I think it was Bartok or someone
Yeah.
said competitions are for horses. I mean, that's a harsh statement, but
Well, that's
it
true.
just shows, yeah, I mean, competitions are about the millisecond that you're faster or slower, and in music that doesn't exist. There's no obvious reason why you're better or not. I mean,
It's not a race.
yeah, it's not a race, exactly, that's for sure. Yeah.
And I think what you mean or implies more as human beings, we are changing because of experiences,
Yeah.
because of who we are. And music should celebrate that dynamism in us.
Exactly.
That's
It
why
should
it's-
celebrate
So-
the diversity of all of us. Yeah, and not make us fight against each other.
And therefore we are also quite grateful and thank you that you are courageous to play actually in this concert live. It's a recording, but it's a live cut.
Yeah.
So if there's something a little bit faster or slower or something else happens, then it happens because this is live. This is human. No?
Yeah.
And in a CD production, you can, of course, delete things, you can cut things or correct things, and then in the end it sounds mostly a little bit sterile because you don't have audience.
Yeah.
Of course, for the moment it's also tricky because we don't have audience for the moment, which is a very big part missing in the whole dialogue between the artist and the audience. But we try our best to compensate somehow. But that's why we are very grateful that you do that and put yourself on stake because it's a live performance. And this is also something which we shouldn't take for granted. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Wow.
But it's also important because whoever comes to this, so to say, recording or in lifetime, it's important because when they take home something, they take home the message that they heard it exactly like if they were sitting here.
Yeah.
You see?
Which they didn't. I mean, because on a CD, I actually now like to record live, which means, I mean, it's not live, but it's a concert that I record, and then there are some edits if major things happen, but it won't be cut into 2,000 little pieces and then put back together. So, and then you can hear applause in the end. It's kind of it's the middle way for not going completely live like today and not producing a CD that has been cut that is so sterile. Then and I like that, and I like that also many others are now tending to do that, to go semi-live and to record their concert, and I think that is an important step to go away from the sterile CD. Although I had the same conversation before, and he said, why should you not produce the perfect CD and have 2,000 cuts, 5,000 cuts, how many you want, because the opportunity is there. Now, finally, it's not a concert, so you are able to actually produce the perfect version of what you have in mind, which it will never be on stage playing live. It will never be perfect. It will be perfect in its own way because you have the energy of the concert hall, which of all these people listening, your own energy just combining into this one ball, and then everything seems perfect because you're in a flow. But on a CD, it's perfectly edited into perfect notes. That's a different perfection, different kind of perfection. But he said, why not create that perfect image, that perfect vision of the piece? And I also think ever since I thought, well, why not actually? Sure, that's also an approach to say, okay, I'm taking the opportunity to produce something really perfect. If it's great in the end, I don't know, because it's probably sterile, but at least you were able to record something where you say, okay, every single note is where it should be. Yeah, and it's not for me, but
Okay,
It's an
let's
idea.
finish the serious stuff. We come more to questions, let's say, you're still quite young and you're already successful. So you're, of course, in the public face. I would say, I wouldn't say you are like the rock star and there are groupies, but let's think of some situation where you would think, that was a concert, maybe a fan or follower, what we say new now, would approach you with something where you would say, that was very unusual, or something you would think. Did you have some situations like that after a concert, for instance?
No, actually, only nice memories are coming to mind. Like they would send me chocolates afterwards. Somehow they found out where I live and they found my
Really?
address somewhere. And I once got, people just send me chocolates. So that's nice.
Hopefully the kind of chocolates that you like.
Well, yes. One
Okay.
funny incident was that it didn't happen often, but a couple of times. And one time, I actually, by accident, I don't know why I was reading the package so carefully, but I saw that she had blacked out the dates because they were already
A little bit overdue.
like a little bit old.
Okay.
But she sent them anyway, and I thought she either just wanted to get rid of them, or she thought,
Still a nice
I don't know. It was,
gesture.
That was a good gesture.
taking it as a nice gesture anyway.
By the way, food-wise, I remember when we called first time, I caught you actually in a cooking session.
I was cooking.
And so you're definitely a foodie, I'm quite
Yes,
sure.
I
Like
am.
we also, we have to admit.
Yes.
You travel quite a lot. I think it's most probably internationally you travel quite a lot. You were in Canada and China. So you're particular about food. How do you cope with traveling and eating as an artist, especially when you prepare, for instance, for concerts? I mean, when you go for China, as an example, the food there is definitely different.
It's different, yeah.
And how do you cope with this?
Well, 15 years ago, I would have said it's very difficult. Now I grew
Okay.
and I'm not so particular about food anymore before concerts. Like 15 years ago, I wouldn't be able to eat even bread with, I don't know, cheese or something. I would just eat plain bread. But now I can eat basically anything, which comes in handy when you travel a lot. That's quite nice. But once, actually, that was in China, where I was struggling to find bread. After 3 weeks, I was just thinking it would be nice to have a slice of bread, and it wasn't possible. So
Particular bread?
No, just really just a normal, just a
bread.
just a slice
Yeah.
of bread. Yeah, and the
Okay.
only thing we could find was cheese bread, which was sweet. So
Oh, really?
Okay.
it was interesting. Yeah. That was the only thing I remember really. But of course, then when you travel, it's, for me at least, it's harder to find something because I don't want to spend so much time finding food. So
Sure.
I leave the hotel, I find whatever is around, around the corner or in front of the hotel, and then I don't want to spend so much time walking around the city only to find food. But fortunately, until now, I also had either people from the organizers helping me, telling me, if you want to eat this or that, go there, and if you want to eat something else, go there. Or I had friends in a city in Canada, for example, wonderful friends that have always just taken me somewhere or showed me around the city. And so I feel I enjoy it, because then also, of course, I get to eat the local food, and then
Can you take it?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
curious, and I like to try almost everything, I would say. I just love food, and trying out different kinds of
Good.
food and getting to know the culture through food also is quite,
So, if one was not to find you spending your time playing the piano, or maybe cooking or eating, how else could one imagine you spending your time? Do you have any other passions?
Sure, not that many actually, because cooking takes up a lot of time because I just enjoy it so much. Plus, last year I also I've taken up baking, which I had a lot of respect for before, but now not anymore. Now I'm enjoying it and baking a lot of cakes and even my own bread and these things. So
So we have to come to
it
Berlin,
takes
it
time.
seems.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're most welcome.
Okay.
You're most
Not
welcome,
bad.
always. Yeah.
Okay.
So that takes up a lot of time, but otherwise, other than that, of course, I enjoy reading a lot and going for walks. Being in nature is very, very important to me. It's not possible in Berlin, or not that much. It is, but not in the amount I would like it to be. I would like to spend much more time in forests or hiking. And
But
so,
especially in Berlin, you have quite a nice green surrounding. No? A
that's
lot of
true.
lakes and
You just
woods.
have to take some time
Yeah,
to
of
leave,
course.
actually leave the city. Yeah, I would. My dream is to one day be able to just step outside my door and be in nature. So let's see.
There's a goal. Okay.
There are always goals.
Of
in life.
course.
There's always a next step to take. But yeah, reading and being outside. I used to enjoy photography, but not anymore. Now it's just
It's time consuming also,
All,
I guess.
most
So,
of
yeah.
the activities, yeah.
Plus, yeah, I think I like to focus on a limited amount of activities or hobbies, whatever you want to call it, because I like to really dive in and enjoy them to the fullest, and I don't like to just perfectly touch them and do a little bit of photography or something. I would like to, if I start something, I like to read about it. I like to get to know what I'm doing and really learn it. So it always takes time, whatever I do besides playing. So there's not a lot of time.
But it sounds like life. That's good.
Yeah.
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 So actually, one of the main reasons or one of the points why we had this platform and these concert series that we call Music Goes On was to create an interface between the artist, the pianist or the musician and the audience, because we feel this dialogue is missing. Of course, we can't really fulfill it to the best, but we are trying or going in that direction. Given the situation, there's one other important thing which we feel for upcoming musicians or those aspiring to be musicians is to give them a sense of hope, because they shouldn't feel that, in a bad time we are kind of left out.
Yeah.
And is there something where you say, through this whole journey that you've made, it's almost a year now that we've been in Corona, would you say there's something that you would like to pass on to the next upcoming, so to say, musician group?
If there's one thing, then it's probably only that the power. People always say music is connecting, music is powerful, and they say it because it's true. And music is healing, and music will be your safest place to be whenever you're feeling down. So it will also be the most recharging place whenever you're feeling down and hopeless. And I think this is one of the most, the saddest outcomes of the past year, that music schools are, they don't have new students coming in. Teachers don't have new students. Private teachers have less students than ever. But I think if children or teenagers knew the strength music could give them, the foundation it could give them, they would take it on. They would start playing, because for me, being at the piano, I mean, this instrument it sucks out all of your bad energy and just pushes back in only the most positive thoughts. And you go through the process of feeling down. You play a piece that, I don't know, you enjoy or that you feel like playing at that moment, and then you transform this feeling of hopelessness, of sadness, into hope and joy, and that only, I think, maybe not only music can do that, but music will do that in the most what's the word for it?
Say it in German.
I'm even lacking the word.
Okay.
Blank.
Doesn't matter.
No problem.
Say it musically.
Well, it's this. In that, I'm really lacking the word. Maybe you can edit this.
Okay.
Edit it out. Anyway, I'll try to say it in a different way. It will give you strength in the purest form ever, and humans can do that. Sure, family, friends, your partner can also do that, but I think music is the purest form of hope that you can get from someone.
I think it's quite genuine in all senses. I
Yeah.
mean, it's for me personally, it's quite comforting if I feel down or have not such a nice mood. Happens, okay, of course. Then it depends also of the music, but it's quite a broad band of classical music, pop or jazz, whatever.
Sure, choose whatever.
But it's uplifting and it's energizing, and it definitely is healing. There are a lot of studies about that. So you do a great job. Thank you for that.
Thank you. It's my great pleasure, and I feel it's not only after a concert once a woman came to me and she actually said that it was so healing for her to be in this concert, but it's the same for me. So it's not only giving, but I also get in return. I receive so much. It's just, I'm also very grateful for that. It's the most wonderful job you can have. Even though it's hard,
sure.
it's just, and it will never stop to be hard. It's just even harder this year. This period has made it even harder, but it's so worth it. It's just,
Before we come to the end, okay, I don't want to forget to thank you also not only from our side. We have some partners in crime. So this black box is a little gift with 2 bottles of a white wine and a red wine from one of our co-sponsors, Chateau to You. And we want to thank you also our other partners who helped to get this whole platform running, like Marcus Music Germany or Rehbock Pianos in Düsseldorf or Yamaha Music Europe. And if you want to join the bandwagon, feel free, contact us over info@marcusmusic.de or just leave a link or comment underneath this video. And the best would be, of course, subscribe and push the bell button. Then every new content of this channel will come to your house for free. So this I will hand over then indirectly. So I put it down here.
Yes. Thank you very much.
And we want to make something in common with these interviews. So the last 3 questions will be always, I think, the same. Let's see. So number 1 would be, what was your last movie you have seen in the cinema?
Oh my God, it's so long ago. I don't even remember.
You will.
I don't even remember.
Really?
It's really very, very long ago, unfortunately.
But you go to the cinema
I
on
do,
and off.
but not that often.
Really?
Somehow it just, it doesn't. Let me think. It was probably the last Star Wars movie.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a good one.
The latest one. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the final one. So
Final
to say
one.
number 9,
Okay.
if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yes.
You're a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Oh, how come? What a wrong question.
What
How
kind
come?
of question
course.
is this? I'm sorry.
But actually, you wouldn't
Why
expect
not?
that. Normally,
Yes.
most probably not. But nice. So welcome to the club.
Keychain. Thank you.
Your turn?
Yeah, and what would you say would be your recently read book?
Oh, Die Elenden von Victor Hugo, which is Les Miserables. which
really?
is in English. I wouldn't know, but you'll figure
Yeah.
it out. I recently started that. Yeah,
You're just still reading it.
I'm still reading.
Oh, okay. But it's quite a drama, isn't it?
It is, but some books
Sometimes.
sometimes
You have
it's
to
just-
also a bit drama in life.
Music doesn't
there
make
can
enough
never be
drama.
Okay.
Yeah, it might not be the most uplifting book, but it's interesting to read anyway.
So because it's challenging a bit your emotions, or is it because the writing is not too intellectual? Actually, it is
Actually, it
intellectual.
is.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
But
I guess psychologically and sociologically, it's interesting to read. And with some books, to be honest, I just think you should have read them, even though maybe they might not be enjoyable. Like some books I have started 3, 4, 5, 8x times and still couldn't finish them, like Ulysses or something. I cannot.
I don't do that anymore.
I
If I have
tried.
20, 30 pages and somehow the book doesn't catch me, I just stop reading.
Yeah.
I just invest in time in something where I think, that gives something back in return, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But of course, everybody, different strokes for different folks, as we
Yes,
say.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, something contemporary that I have enjoyed, which I hardly ever read, but a friend suggested it, and I liked the writing a lot because it was also rather light, but not too light. It was medium, something you can just enjoy during the day. Was Elena Ferrante. It's an Italian writer, and the book series is called My Genius Friend, I think. Yeah, it's not super well known. It's from the past, I think, 20 years that she wrote it. Nobody knows who she is. It's not her real name.
Oh, it's a pseudonym. Okay.
Yes,
Interesting.
but I enjoyed it. It was just nice to read. So different than Victor Hugo, of course.
Okay.
But yeah.
Cinemas, books. What was your last recently order of fast food you got?
Sushi, probably.
Sushi as fast food? That's not fast food.
Fast food. Okay, but order. Then
Order,
it must
okay.
have probably been burgers. Fast food.
Okay.
Or maybe French fries.
Well, that was just today. That's true.
Okay.
But I didn't
Mea
order
culpa.
Okay.
Most recently, yes, that would have been the French fries from today.
Sorry, I was just playing devil's advocate.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
So thank you once again for being with us and having give us the opportunity to listen to your nice program, courageous program. And we are looking forward to the next concerts, of course. So please stay with us. And thanks for your coming and time.
Thank you, too.
Thank you. If it was any other time, we would have really hugged you. But so for the moment, we just say thank you so
Yes,
much.
From the heart, nevertheless.
Yes, most definitely. Thank
Thanks.
you.